We'll start with the prayers. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are studying Taittriya Bhashyam by Shankaracharya. We're doing the second chapter, Brahmanandavalli. And any spiritual study is an inward journey. It is not an external journey, but inward journey. What is the meaning of inward journey? Inward journey means it is a journey conducted with the help of your mind. There are stations involved. You cross one station, go to the next station. Like you travel outside, suppose you want to go from Bombay to Delhi, there are different stations which you cross. So similarly, and once you arrive at Delhi or arrive at your destination, you will know you have arrived. So similarly, spiritual journey through Vedanta is a journey when you will know when you have completed the journey. This is a drishta phala. Drishta phala means it is a fruit which you can experience once you have arrived at the destination. What is the destination in the spiritual journey? The destination is called as Brahman. In Taittriya Upanishad, it's called as Brahman. It is described in the first verse of the first section of the second chapter. We went through that in very big detail. How do I remember that journey? How do I remember the destination? By three words. Satyam means it is always there. That destination is always there. Whenever I reach that destination, it will be there. That is called as Satyam. Trikale api tishtati Satyam. In all the periods of time, in the past it was there, in the present it is there, in the future it will be there. Whenever any seeker conducts this spiritual journey, he will reach that destination. Therefore, it is called as Satyam. It is never decaying, cannot be perished, it is imperishable. Aksharam, we saw it in Mundaka Upanishad. And it is the same Aksharam which was revealed in Mundaka Upanishad as Brahman, is revealed in Taittriya Upanishad as Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Jnanam means consciousness. I am conscious all the time. I exist all the time. I am of the nature of limitlessness, Ananda, all the time. This is what is the Vedic vision about myself. What is my vision about myself today? My vision is I was born yesterday or 50 years ago or 60 years ago. I was born on a certain day and I am enjoying this life. And then after some time, I will not be here in this world. This is what is our vision. Veda wants us to change this vision. This is a vision in our intellect. This is what we have heard from our ancestors. And I have got this vision today. I see it also in the world. Somebody is born, somebody dies, somebody is born, somebody dies. Death, life cycle is a common phenomenon. Can I change that vision? Is the challenge of Upanishads. Every time we study an Upanishad, I get a peep into that vision, which is an immortal vision, which is a timeless vision, which is my goal, where I have to ultimately land and I have to own up that as my real nature. Veda gives us the challenge to go and search. Where is a search? Deep within yourself, deep within your own mind. So this is a journey. It is an intellectual journey. Therefore, teaching is important. So in this journey, I have to be extremely alert all the time. Veda teaches me how to be alert. If I am of the nature of Sakshi, and if I am able to know what that Sakshi or what that witness consciousness is, I am alert throughout my life. I can never drop myself from that vision. So with that motive, a seeker starts learning the Upanishads. Most of the Upanishads, they tell us the process of discovering this nature of ours. And the process is, they talk about a karanam and karyam, cause and effect. We have seen this Karanam and Karyam in Mundaka Upanishad, where we said Brahman was the Karanam. If you all recollect, we have done this Mundaka Upanishad before this Upanishad. In Mundaka Upanishad, what was the question asked by the student? The question was, teach me one something which is the cause of this entire universe. What is that? By knowing which, I will know the entire universe, was the question of the student. And the answer to that was Brahman. Know Brahman, and then you will know the cause of this entire Jagat, whole cosmos. That was the promise of Mundaka Upanishad. When you come to Taittriya, the same promise is given by the Upanishad, Taittriya Upanishad, Acharya. And here he says, Brahma vida apnoti param tadesham yuktam. That means know Brahman and you will reach immortality. And what is a process, a step-by-step process here? The Satyam Jnanam Anantam is the destination. It is my real nature. But today my nature is Panchakosha. Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. These 5 terms you should know when you are studying Taittriya Upanishad. Without these 5 terms, there is no Taittriya Upanishad. So we have seen the different koshas, and each kosha, we have to link it to the samashti, the totality. So the process is, I understand what is that Annamaya Kosha at my body level, then I say this Annam is nothing but it is coming from Samashti, Samashti from the totality. Food is common to all of us. All the bodies, they depend on food. Without food, there is no body which can survive. Whether it is ant body, elephant body, my body, any body, anywhere in the world survives on food. Annamaya Kosha is the first kosha. Then we came to Pranamaya Kosha. Without breath, without breathing, their body cannot survive. That is the prana. Then we came to Manomaya Kosha. Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha means what? The mind and the thoughts. Which is more deeper, more subtler than the Pranamaya Kosha. In each of these koshas, that Upanishad tells us, link to the Samashti. Your Pranamaya, you drop it. You take the Samashti Pranamaya. And Samashti Pranamaya means what? The totality. I drop my identification from this body and I say this body's prana depends on the total pranamaya which exists in this universe. Sutratma. The name given in the Veda is Sutratma, is the totality of all the pranas. Our mind can do this exercise. The Upanishad tells us, do this exercise if you want to reach Brahman. Then Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha. Manomaya Kosha is the thoughts. Vijnanamaya Kosha is the doer, karta. In the case of Vijnanamaya Kosha or the Manomaya Kosha, it says Hiranyagarbha is the firstborn mind, totality of the mind. So my mind, I do pravilapanam. Pravilapanam in Sanskrit means I try to sublimate. Pravilapanam, the meaning is sublimation. I sublimate my mind. I say this mind is not independently there. It is controlled by a Hiranyagarbha principle, which is a total mind. So there is a connection between the totality, which is easy to understand. You see, all of us, we are born in this world. We are surviving because of the principles of 5 elements surrounding us. So this is the journey. This is what we are doing. We have finished 4 koshas. We are trying to enter into the 5th kosha. And we will see now how each kosha is important for us to drop our identification and then claim that pure Atma as my real nature. So with this short, brief introduction, I will go to the verse where we stopped last week. This section deals with Vijnanam Yajnam Tanute Karmani Tanuto Picha. What does it mean? It says that Vijnanam, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, is nothing else but it is the Karta. It is the doer of all actions. One has to meditate on this Vijnanamaya Kosha as the Hiranyagarbha. That is what is said in this verse. In Shankaracharya's Bhashyam, what he is saying in this particular verse is that this Vijnanamaya Kosha, you meditate as the Hiranyagarbha principle in the universe. What is Hiranyagarbha? Hiranyagarbha is the first born from Ishvara. See, what the Veda says is that this entire universe is also like how we are. And there are certain devatas. Hiranyagarbha is a devata. And a devata is born from Ishvara. So once somebody meditates on that, here, what Upanishad or what Shankaracharya says is, if you meditate, I am the totality, what will happen to you? The phalam of this meditation is given here. All the papas in the body, papas means all the demerits, they will leave you. Upasana phalam is this. And then one will attain all his desires. Okay, so this is just what is said in this particular verse about upasana done on Vijnanamaya Kosha as the totality of Hiranyagarbha. Brahma Sutra has got Brahma Sutra is a study which we do after the Upanishadic studies. Sutra form means they are all cryptic forms in which the entire teaching of Vedanta is given. And Brahma Sutra is mainly a Nyaya Shastra. It will tell you logically how Brahman can be realized. There are 555 sutras like this. Anandamayo Abhyasat. This is one of the sutras in the first chapter itself, and it discusses how Anandamaya Kosha is not Atma. It is a Kosha. What is the nature of this Vijnanam? Why do we say Vijnanam? Vijnanam means knowledge. Karta, see, who do we call as a Karta? A doer of actions. A doer of action always has the knowledge about the action. Janati, Ichchate, Yatate. Very simple. If you know how to go to America, then you can have it. Or if you know there is a country like exists, which is called America, then you develop a desire for going and seeing the place, or Mount Everest, or Switzerland. You get the knowledge of the country first, and then you develop a desire, Ichha. Knowledge is followed by desire, and once you have the desire, what happens? Action. Yatate. Yatate means action. So, in all our activities, in our Vyavaharika life, Vijnanamaya Kosha is extremely important. Without Vijnanamaya Kosha means what? The Karta, the doer of actions. Therefore, if you want to meditate on this Kosha, this Upanishad says, the 5 limbs of Vijnanamaya are Shraddha, Ritam, Satyam, Yoga Atma, which is Samadhanam. These are all the attributes which, if you are able to meditate as this, Shraddha means faith. Ritam means noble life. Satyam means it is always the truth. Samadhana means it will give you the peace of mind. Since knowledge plays a very important role, and Vijnanam is the performer of all actions, whether it is Laukika Karma, that means our normal day-to-day activities of going to the office, doing some work in the kitchen, these are all Laukika Karmas. There also you will require Vijnanam. And If you do rituals, definitely you'll require knowledge. What to buy, what oblations to put, these are all knowledge. So we see the Upanishad is trying to teach us that all this is anatma. Vijnanamaya is also anatma compared to that Brahman or Atma. So far we have seen Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, both are Karya Atma. Karya Atma means they are effect. Manomaya Kosha is Karana Atma, Vijnanamaya Kosha is Karta Atma, Anandamaya Kosha is Bhokta. Bhokta means enjoyer. Okay? And enjoyer means what? There are three types of enjoyment that technically they call it Moda, Pramoda, and these are different, which we have studied before also. When I took the introduction, I have introduced this. We will be seeing this again. In the next verse, in the next Shankaracharya deals with Vijnanamaya Kosha at Samashti level, which is Hiranyagarbha. And Hiranyagarbha, what is Hiranyagarbha? Hiranyagarbha is the macro one. And Hiranyagarbha is supposed to be Jeshta. Jeshta means what? It is the firstborn. It is it is eldest one. It is highly revered. So firstborn, eldest one is this Hiranyagarbha. Devatas are also only bhoktas. They have no kartrutva. See, this is one of the things which is revealed in the Upanishads. See, when we say Devatas, like Surya Devata, Chandra Devata, these are all, according to the Vedas, they were also Manushyas in their previous Janmas, long, long ago. But because of their rituals and the upasana they did, they have gone to the higher lokas. The higher lokas are only bhoga bhumis, where you can enjoy. Till your punyam is there, you enjoy. But once a punyam is finished, you have to come back to this manusya loka to again start the journey if you want to go to the same loka again. This is all said in the scriptures. For this, there is no proof. Whatever is said in the scriptures, we take it as the truth. For Shankar, this Bhashyam of Taittriya Upanishad, there is a commentary written by Achyuta Krishna, and he has written a commentary called Vanamala. Vanamala is the name of the commentary. For Shankaracharya's this Bhashyam, he has taken every word of this Bhashyam and written a commentary, and he has, it's a very beautiful commentary. That's what I have heard. So in that, he has mentioned about all this. As a result of upasana, you get to higher lokas. Okay, Virat Devata is born later. Like, for example, our mind is subtler than the gross body. We live as our mind at a subtler level, and then we take up the body of the gross body. Similarly, is the Hiranyagarbha taking the Virat Sharira. Virat is the entire universe. So as a knower, one plays a primary role in all activities. Vijnanamaya is extremely important for all activities. The phalam of upasanas are Iha Loka phalam and Paraloka phalam. Paraloka means you go to Brahmaloka. Then they go to higher lokas. Iha Loka means you get Aishwarya. You get glory in this world itself. You become glorious. You get different siddhis. Yogis, they develop siddhis. Siddhi means powers. I mean, these are all mentioned. That's why I've just put it across here. Next, the five koshas are the glorifications of the devatas also. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse here which says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha maya pitar mano buddhi mameva vaishya samshayaha. You will certainly reach me. This is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita in the 8th chapter. So remembering me, remembering this devata whom you have practiced upasana. You see, you can practice upasana is a very big term, but see, suppose you go to a puja room and you meditate on Durga Devi, or you meditate on Lakshmi, even for 5-10 minutes, that also has phalam. If you continue to remember this all the time, it has got greater phalam. Okay? There are rules regarding upasanas, how to conduct them. They are all mentioned in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. What do I do when I do upasana? You should know the principle behind this meditations. When I meditate on something else, what I do is I drop the identification with the body. This is a practice. Suppose you keep on meditating, then what happens during meditation? Your identification is totally with the mind. In my Wednesday classes, I conduct meditation sessions. So what happens is you drop your identification with your body, Annamaya Kosha, and then you are attached to your Manomaya Kosha. Is it possible? You try it out, you will know. It is possible. Similarly, you have to go to the Vijnanamaya Kosha and say, that is not me. Then you have to go to Anandamaya Kosha and say, that is also not me. And then finally you say, I am Atma. Whatever is the remainder, after you drop all the 5 koshas, that becomes the ultimate goal. So whenever you remember this ultimate goal to be reached, then you are walking on the path of spirituality. Whether you do Mandukya Upanishad, whether you do Taittriya Upanishad or Mundaka Upanishad, each Upanishad is asking us to go inner. It's an inward journey. This is a teaching of how I can go deep within myself and realize the ultimate truth. Then Shankaracharya writes a little bit about how one does papam in life, how one does ignoble actions in one's life. What he is saying is that whenever you are identified, I'm just running through the commentary of Shankaracharya, so that you know what all he see in for one Vijnanamaya, see how much depth he goes into. You know, that is why the study of Bhashyam becomes much more glorious. So what he says is, if you are identified with the Annamaya, you commit papams, you commit certain ignoble actions. How to get rid of this? By going to the higher level. Going to the higher level means what? Dropping your identification with the Annamaya, again and again telling yourself, oh, this body has done this, forget about it. Okay, now let me focus on my mind. You learn to come out of the papams. That's what it means. See, the study of Upanishad should help you in your day-to-day life also. And you will find that your day-to-day life also, you will be able to take better decisions, better quality of life you can enjoy when you study these Upanishads. So through this, there is one upasana Shankaracharya mentions here. It is called as Ahangraha Upasana. So Ahangraha Upasana is a unique Upasana. What is the upasana? Ultimate, I am that ultimate goal which I want to reach. I am that. You say, I am that Brahman in your own mind. Aham Brahma Asmi is Aham Graha Upasana. And this helps you to drop your papams. That's what he says here. When you do upasanas, your ahamkara and mamakara will reduce. Ahamkara means I notion in the body. Mamakara means the others which are surrounding you, your notion that they all belong to me, that notion also gets strong. Why do we need to drop this ahamkara and mamakara? Because these two are only temporary. It is there in the waking state, but in the dream, in the sleep state, this ahamkara is not there. But I am there. I continues. What is that I which continues in the sleep state? That is what you are searching. Okay? So, Shankaracharya says that the benefit of doing this ahankara upasana is you reach Brahmaloka. And you, after death, you follow certain paths like Shuklagati. These details are mentioned in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. All this is linked to that Hiranyagarbha. You see, what he is trying to say is that there is a Devata which is responsible for your mind. Like Surya Devata is Gayatri Devi. We say that you chant Gayatri, you pray to the Gayatri Devi, you will improve, you will see that your intellect shines. Like the Surya shines, your intellect will shine. Keep on chanting Gayatri Mantra, you will find a lot of benefit coming out of it. Similarly, this Ahangara Upasana, Hiranyagarbha Upasana, you will drop your lower nature and you will go to your higher nature, which is this Brahman. Next, we come to the 5th section. In the 5th section, Tasmat va etasmat vijnanamayat anyontara atma anandamayaha. Like how we did in the previous koshas, now the Upanishad takes up the last portion, which is Anandamaya kosha. This Anandamaya kosha is Anyontaraha. Anyontara means it is more subtler than the Vijnanamaya kosha. And how do I reach that in my own self? Again, it says a meditation. You see, Upanishad always links up with some meditation because it wants you to go deeper and deeper. In this case, it says Priya is the head, Moda is the right side, Pramoda is the, okay, I'll explain to you in the next slide when it comes. So Anandamaya kosha is also a karyam. Karyam means it is an effect. It is a product. And this kosha also has the form of the body itself. That means I am the happy, suppose I say I'm a happy person. That happiness is pervading the entire body. Anandamaya kosha has 3 avayavas. Avayavas means vikaras, modifications. What are the 3 modifications of this Anandamaya kosha? This you will never find it anywhere in any other Upanishad. Only in Taittriya Upanishad you will find that Ananda, which Ananda means what? Happiness, joy. And it defines this happiness and gives grades of happiness. There is another section, when we come to that, we will see that there is a total description of different grades of happiness in different lokas, in different divine states. Simple terms, it says all the happiness which we enjoy in this world is classified as happy, happier, happiest. Priya, Moda, Pramoda. Highest is Pramoda. And in between the lower, Priya means just a simple joy of, I will explain to you what are these three terms. Suppose, for example, you want to have an ice cream or you want to see a movie. So if you want to have an ice cream, the joy is there in your mind. You want it. It's a desire. Now, the moment you are walking up to a shop, you get the excitement. I'm going to have an ice cream. That is what is called as Priya. Moda means that you are almost holding that ice cream in your hand. The joy increases. Ultimately, Pramoda is the ice cream is in your tongue. Super, very good. That is the highest. So this you can compare it with any joy which you have. Even meeting your daughter who is coming from abroad, similarly, there'll be three types of joys. Any joy, you can break it into these three parts. And that is what the Upanishad wants you to meditate. How do you meditate? Shiraha, Dakshinaha, Uttaraha. These three are the different directions. Head, the right side, the south side, north side. That is how you meditate, but most of us will not meditate, so I'm not going to the details. There is a lot of things mentioned in the Upanishad, how to meditate on this. Atma Ananda is, see, now you have gone into Ananda. Anandamaya Kosha is what we are discussing. But there is a superior Ananda, which is not a Kosha. See, many students, they study Taittriya Upanishad, but they don't understand the difference between Atma Ananda and Anandamaya Kosha. If you do a very casual study, you say, Atma, Anandamaya Kosha is the Atma. And even many scholars, they also say this Atma Ananda is this Anandamaya Kosha. Then Shankaracharya will give a detailed explanation. We will also see in the following slides, we'll see why he says this Anandamaya Kosha is not Atma. We'll go into that analysis later, but right now, what we should understand is Anandamaya is a kosha. Kosha means what? It is a covering. It covers the Atma Ananda. Atma Ananda can never be experienced joy. It is only claimed. I am that Atma. That's all. That is why it's called as Bimba Ananda. Original happiness is my real nature. What about that? What about the sorrow which I experience in my life? That is incidental. It is not real. The sorrow which we experience in life is a part of the law of prarabdha karma, and that prarabdha karma is there at a lower level when we are identified with our body. Bimba Ananda, Atma Ananda is this joy of the subject, experiencer, consciousness, Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That pure consciousness has got the bliss nature in it. That is what is called as Atma Ananda. It is not the state of sleep. The state of sleep is tamoguna. In that state, I get a reflection of that Ananda. That is why it's called as reflected happiness. All the happiness which I enjoy in this world, it is all reflected from that pure Ananda. This gradation which we talked about, Priya, Moda, Pramoda, and all that, this gradation is also belongs to that. It belongs to that experiential Ananda. It is not the Atma Ananda. Anandamaya Kosha is temporarily taken as Atma till you come to Anandamaya Brahma Prucham Pratishtam. That means till you go to the next level, that means till you drop the Ananda, you will not be able to reach Atma. When you go to Ananda Atma, Priya Moda Pramoda gets converted to a Kosha. See, every time when we go to a higher level, from that level, you look at the lower level, then that becomes a kosha. Kosha means it is a covering. It covers my higher nature. In Brahma Sutra, there is a Anandamaya Adhikaranam. I'm just giving you some details which are there so that you know this how this Anandamaya is dealt in the scriptures. Anandamaya is dealt in Brahma Sutra in a very, very elaborate way. There is a Anandamaya Adhikaranam. Adhikaranam means a full section called as Anandamaya. In that, there is a debate of a Purva Pakshi. Purva Pakshi means an opponent who comes and says Anandamaya Kosha is Atma itself. It is not a Kosha. And then Shankaracharya now starts building up. He takes that debate and then he brings it up in this Taittriya Bhashyam. And he says how Anandamaya Kosha is not Atma, but it is a sheath. Original Atma is the Karana Atma. That is from where this entire world has come. That is what we have seen in the first verse. In the second verse, it said, Tasmat va e tasmat atmana akasha sambhutvaha. This is the verse. Here, what does it say? It says that out of that Atma only, all the five koshas have come. So, five koshas are the Karyam. Anandamaya Kosha is also a Karyam. It is not Atma. What is the Karanam? The cause. The cause is Brahman. Brahman means what? It is the Atma. Atma at that individual level is called as Brahman at the totality level. From here onwards, Anandamaya Kosha, that the debate, Anandamaya Kosha is not Atma Ananda. That is what starts. And here in this particular verse, he starts the details about why he says there are 6 or 7 reasons. He says why Ananda Atma is not this Ananda Maya Kosha. I hope you're clear about the Atma Ananda and the Kosha Ananda. Kosha Ananda means it is only a reflection in which we are able to experience. Atma Ananda is something which we cannot experience because it is me, myself. It is only knowledge. It is only an understanding. It is only a cognitive knowledge in your intellect, saying that I am that Atma Ananda. Pure Ananda, in which there is no other world at all. I alone am. That is the ultimate destination. What Shankaracharya says is, he starts giving the reasons why this Ananda Atma is not this Anandamaya Kosha. The first reason he gives, Shankaracharya gives 6 logical reasons. See, this is whenever we study the Bhashyam, logic is involved. With the help of logic, our understanding becomes firmer. See, these type of things we never do it in without the study of Shankara Bhashya. These are the important aspects of Bhashyam study. 6 reasons he gives us. We'll go one by one. You'll be able to understand it. The first reason he says is the Sanskrit word he coins is adhikarat. Adhikarat means what? The context of this Upanishad is kosha. It is not Atma so far. Right now we are discussing Pranamaya, Manomaya. So the first logical reason is, right now the context is only a kosha. It is not Karana Atma. Therefore, it is not Atma. Anandamaya kosha is not Atma Ananda. Okay? Then the second reason he gives is, Mayat suffix is used. Anandamaya. See, whenever you use Maya, Maya means it is a modification. Any modification is a karyam. Therefore, he says that Anandamaya kosha, Maya, see, Mayat is there in Anandamaya. Therefore, he says it is a modification, it is not Atma. Okay, so these are the first two. First reason is adhikaratvat. Adhikaratvat means the context of the flow of thought is Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. So Anandamaya is, in this context, is a kosha. It is not karanam. It is a karyam. It is a effect. Therefore, not Atma. Second reason is Mayat Shabda is used. Mayat means modification, vikaraha. For example, we say happy, happier, happiest, priya, moda, pramoda. These are the 3. So if it is a modification, it cannot be Atma, which is nirvikaraha. See, this is the logic. Our intellect, if it has to go and reach that pure Atma, it has to go through this route. Savikara Anandamaya can't be Nirvikara Atma. Savikara means what? With modification. It cannot be without modification, which is the Atma. The description of Atma is what? It is changeless. What about the happiness which I enjoy? Changing. Happiness is there sometimes, it goes away also. But awareness doesn't change. Awareness is consciousness. That consciousness is my real nature. This is the discrimination process between Anandamaya and Atma. This is, see, why Shankaracharya takes this analysis is, Karta, the doer of action is easy to understand. Thoughts in the mind, Manomaya is easy to understand. Body, Annamaya is easy to understand. Manomaya is a thought. Prana is also easy to understand. But when it comes to Ananda, which is the subtlest thing in us, how to know that Ananda is also a kosha? It is a covering. It is not the Atma. See, in our spiritual journey, we have to say Annamaya is not me. Therefore, what? My identification with the body will go away. Then we say prana is not me. Then the identification of the prana, that means the breathing which happens, which keeps his body alive, that is also not me. Then manomaya, the thoughts are also vikaras, it's changing, not me. All these koshas are made up of matter, whereas Atma is the spirit It is not matter. It is pure consciousness. This is, you see, slowly we have to understand consciousness versus matter. Okay. Then the third argument he uses is sankramanasya. Sankramanasya means you cross over Anandamaya Kosha. Upasankramati, that is one of the word used in the Taittriya Upanishad. Upasankramati means what? You cross over this. That's what Upanishad says. You cross over Anandamaya, cross over Manomaya, Annamaya, and then you reach the Atma. So the third reason is because the Upanishad says Upasankramati, therefore, if it has to be crossed, then it cannot be Atma. Because Atma is the ultimate. Atma is not the it is not the intermediary stage, it is the ultimate. Because the word, you see, first two reasons, don't forget. First reason was, it is in the context, in the current context, Anandamaya is a kosha. Second reason was, in the, because Maya is the suffix used, it is not Atma Ananda. Third reason is because you have to cross over, therefore it is also not Atma. Atma is not meant for crossing, but it is meant for reaching. Okay. See, so much of details are given in these Bhashyam. I'm covering, if you want to study this Bhashyam, you should study these verses. You can read through. If you have time, you can read through these portions. Wherever I have put the translation of Shankaracharya Bhashyam, if you want to go a little bit deeper into the Bhashyam, you have to study these portions. Okay? Nirupadika Atma can't be revealed. Nirupadika Atma means what? Atma without an Upadi. Right now, I can say I am the Atma because I am with the Upadi of the body. Okay? Nirupadika Atma cannot be revealed. Sopadika Atma can be revealed. Sopadika means it is with a Upadi. Upanishad reveals Atma along with the koshas. Why does it say? Why does it do? For example, Anandamaya kosha has got two components. One is the kosha component, another is the Atma component. In the kosha itself, there is a in the last kosha. See that we are studying this last fifth kosha in big detail. And Shankaracharya goes deep into this topic of Anandamaya. In the Anandamaya kosha, there is a kosha aspect and there is an Atma component. Atma component cannot be revealed. It is a lakshyartha. Whatever is cannot be revealed is called as lakshyartha. Sanskrit word I'm using, but there is no other choice. Because this is the way one can know Atma, which is the primary Atma. And that is also called as Adhisthana. Adhisthana means it is the final support for the entire universe. See, this universe which we experience cannot be experienced without consciousness. Hence, it is called as Adhisthana. Without awareness, which is my real nature. Nobody can experience the universe because it just happens to be the support. Without that pure Atma, that is why at any time I can go back and land in that Atma because everything else is Anityam, everything else is Mithya. What is Satyam is Atma. We call the five koshas as mithya. I'm digressing slightly, but I want to explain this matter so that you can go a little bit deeper into this topic. See, whenever we say mithya, mithya means it appears. Every mithya, experience, which is an appearance, must have a support. For example, rope snake must have rope. Mirage water must have sand, dry sand. Similarly, if I'm seeing the dream, I must have the waker as a support. But for waking, what is the support? For the waking state, the support is this Brahman. This is said in Mandukya Upanishad. I just thought it is useful to understand the nature of Atma as the Adhishtanam. That's why I brought this comparison of Mandukya to here. So, Kosha aspect is the happiness which is changing. Pramoda is on the Uttara side, left side. Moda is on the right side, Dakshina side. Priya is on the Shiraha, head. This is how you meditate. This is how you meditate. This is said in the Upanishad in the Rig Mandara there. So, this temporary Atma is this Ananda, Anandamaya Kosha. Okay. Here I've said it is a Pratibimba. Pratibimba means it's a reflection of the original Ananda. Okay. So we have finished Adhikaratvat, we have finished Maya Shabda, we have finished Sankramanasya. Sankramanasya means it is, you have to cross over, therefore it is not Atma. Crossing over is only possible if it is Anatma. You cross over Anatma and then go to this ultimate Atma. Okay, these are all explanations of those reasons. Jnani can't reach Brahman as he himself is this Brahman. You can't reach. For reaching, it has to be Dvaitam. It cannot be Advaitam. See, you are in a certain, so any type of reaching is always with reference to the body. Whenever your identification and you say, I reach Delhi, means the body reaches Delhi. Consciousness never reaches Delhi. It is always there. It is all pervasive. So why reaching is not possible for Atma? That is what Shankaracharya explains, and that's what I put in these slides. There is no reach division in the case of Atma. Consciousness is all pervading. Therefore, there is no reach. This is one of the reasons why Atma is not Anandamaya Kosha. Okay. Chaitanyam is ever evident aham. See, for example, suppose you want to know what is the Chaitanyam Atma in me. A simple experiment is whatever is by itself, that is what is called as aham. And that is the sakshi, that is the consciousness. This consciousness is without any upadi. Aham, when you say aham, aham means what? I. The I notion which you have is the Atma in you. This I notion is lakshyartha. It is not the vachyartha. Vachyartha means it is identified with the body. I notion, when you say I am sick, it is vachyartha. Suppose you say I am 50 kilos, 60 kilos, it is vachyartha. When you say I am consciousness, it is called as lakshya. Okay? Try to understand the difference between lakshyartha and vachya. Okay. The fourth argument is Shira Adi Kalpanastam. What it means is because the meditation is said for this Anandamaya Kosha, therefore it is not Atma. Atma cannot be meditated upon because it is Nirgunaha. Priya Moda Pramoda, the Upanishad asks you to meditate on them on the left side, on the right side. Therefore, it is not Atma. Limitless Brahman cannot have a head or right or left side. Therefore, it is without, therefore, it is not Anandamaya. Okay, so all this Brahman doesn't have avayavam. Avayavam means parts. Therefore, you cannot meditate on Brahman. You cannot meditate. But what can you do? You can own it up as your own nature. The nature of Brahman is described in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It is described in Taittriya Upanishad. I've given some quotations here, and Katha Upanishad. All these reveal that it is without any parts. These three verses are only saying that Brahman cannot be meditated upon, it can be only claimed as me. Therefore, Anandamaya Kosha is not Atma. Okay. So these are all very similar. I'm skipping them because they are not important to our discussions. Brahma Pucham Pratishtam Anupamanam means what? Ultimately, it says for Anandamaya Kosha, there is Brahman, there is the support. Because it is the support, therefore, it is not the Atma. That is the last argument which is given about why Anandamaya Kosha is not Atma. Anandamaya Kosha is a Karyam, it is a Kosha, it is an Atma. Brahman is the Karanam. So, Vrittikara Matam, which is there in Brahma Sutra, we have now studied. See, this is the way Brahma Sutra is. This is the way analysis is done in Brahma Sutra. So, it is mainly, Brahma Sutra should be studied by people who are very logically reasoning oriented. There are some seekers who are reason oriented. There are some seekers who are pure knowledge oriented. I want to know what Veda says. I will just go after it. I don't look at too much. I don't use my intellect in a very, because ultimately tarka or logic, you cannot reach Brahman. How should we study Upanishad? You should make Upanishad, whatever it teaches, as the pramana, as the primary. And you should make tarka, logic, as supportive. Tarka should not become dominant. I have seen some seekers who, I come across so many seekers because of this website which I have. And there are many people who write to me looking at some of the areas, portions of the website, and then they write to me, and then they go on discussing in a very, very logical way and keep on arguing with reference to the logic. The problem is they don't understand that logic by itself cannot be the dominant factor. Shruti, Yukti, and Anubhava. Yukti is supportive logic. Anubhava is supportive to the Shruti. But what is the primary? Primary is Shruti. Shruti says, I am pure awareness, consciousness. I am not body or mind or the five koshas. I take it I use some of the reasons like these reasons, and then I accept if these reasons, with the help of reasons, my intellect is able to understand the Shruti much more better. Okay? Real Atma is not separately introduced in the Upanishad. Real Atma is only an understanding. It is just a claim. It is finally Brahman is something which the Upanishad says you are that. That's all. Tattvamasi. Okay. So we have seen all this. This is just a revision notes. I will go through this. It talks about the same 6 reasons. Then Upasankramati means there are 2 meanings. One is crossing over, another is destination. Atma is the destination. Crossing over, you do by crossing the 5 koshas. Okay, Atma can't be reached and reached. I have discussed this. This chart gives you all the 6, 7 reasons which we have discussed. Contextually, it is not kosha. Mayat is used as a suffix. Mayat means it is a modification. Upasamkramati means you're crossing over the koshas. It is not a destination, therefore it is not Atma. Bhautikatva means it is all these koshas are made up of 5 elements, matter. Therefore, therefore it cannot be Atma. Karyam, all these koshas are effects, products of Atma. Therefore, it is not Atma. Swatmani Bheda Bhava. You cannot reach. There is no reacher and reached relationship between Anandamaya, Atma and us. Therefore, this Anandamaya is not me. The last one is, it is a Karanam for even space. Therefore, it is not Anandamaya kosha. Okay, this is a very elaborate topic in the Bhashyam, and it is useful to us, and with the help of these Bhashyam study, we will be able to go towards this journey, the spiritual journey, much more on a firmer ground. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is the subject. It is not subject to change. It is limitless. It has no form. It is not a karyam. It is not but it is the karanam without a form. You see, it's a very important thing to understand. The whole Taittriya Upanishad is talking about karanam and karyam. Jiva Jagat Ishvara is karyam. It is mithya. It is appearance. Brahman is Karanam. Karanam is Satyam. Cause is Satyam. The Karyam always goes back to Karanam. Pravilapanam. Pravilapanam means it dissolves. All the Panchabhutas, our body dissolves into the Panchabhutas. The mind dissolves into the Hiranyagarbha. Our Ajnanam dissolves in the Antaryami. So ultimately, how do I know myself? I am the pure consciousness. All these 5 koshas are appearances. They are Satyam when I am in that kosha. Suppose I am in Annamaya. I'm eating food. At that time, you don't talk about when you're eating food. For example, you are experiencing food. At that time, it is not a kosha. It is reality. Annamaya is the Atma at that time of eating. When does it become a kosha? When you switch off that Annamaya and go to Pranamaya. Suppose you're doing Pranamaya. You're doing yoga, pranamaya yoga. So at that time, Annamaya becomes the kosha. You're not, you see, suppose you're breathing, you're doing a breathing exercise. Anulom, Vilom, Pranayama. You're doing breathing exercise. At that time, it becomes, the body becomes a kosha. See, for all people who are doing yoga, it's very easy to understand. And drop the identification. You see, as a seeker, you should know that there is it is possible for you to be without identification with the five koshas. Use the Upanishad logically as well as the scriptural way to drop your identification and claim I am the Atma. Every time when you study Taittriya Upanishad, you must not forget this essence in the whole Upanishad. Very, very important. These are all very, very deep lessons which we learn. Okay. The nature of Brahman is described in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in Taittriya Upanishad. What is the nature? It says it is invisible, adrishye. Even in this, I will be going through this verse later, but here I have mentioned what is the nature of this pure consciousness and how I can identify with it as my real nature. Consciousness is never visible, it is invisible. Adrishye. Anatme, it is never with a body. It doesn't have an upadi. Anirukte. Anirukte means consciousness can never be defined as so and so. To define consciousness, what do you need? You need attributes. Anilayane. Anilayane means this consciousness has no support. It is the support of the whole universe for all the three avasthas, waking, dream, sleep. All this is going on with what support? The support of Atma. See how beautiful some of these mantras are. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it says this Atma is immutable, means it cannot be destroyed. It is neither gross, it is neither subtle. It is neither short, it is neither long. It is neither red color, nor does it have other colors. It is neither a shadow, it is neither a darkness. It is neither air, it is neither space. It is unattached. It doesn't have any odor. Without eyes, without ears, without organ of mind, it is ultimately, it has got no interior or exterior. And that is the nature of Brahman. Okay. And that is why in another part of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it always says neti neti. Neti neti means you drop this, drop this, drop this. Whatever is remaining is the ultimate Atma. Okay, so that is another mantra which comes in Taittriya Upanishad is asanneva bhavati. Asanneva bhavati means don't reject yourself. If you reject and say that I don't, see, Brahman means you are the ultimate support for the entire cosmos at the consciousness level. And don't look at the body level. You see, when you're at the body level, you cannot say that I am that consciousness. You can only claim when you are at the higher level. And suppose you say that the Brahman doesn't exist. What happens? Then you yourself are saying, I don't exist. That is what it says in this mantra. One, if he knows Brahman as non-existence, he becomes himself non-existent. Suppose you say that Brahman exists, and then start the entire discussions of the five koshas. It will make meaning. It it will give you the right meaning of the Upanishads. Okay. Another two words which we use with this, I will just use this and then I will stop. See, whenever we say sense objects we experience, it is Indriya Pratyaksha. Indriya Pratyaksha means it is only known by the sense organs. What about my mind? My mind is Sakshi Pratyaksha. Happiness which is born out of the sense objects is Sakshi Pratyaksha. Very important things. You see, these are very subtle points which we discuss in Vedanta. Suppose, see, if you want to, this is possible only when you are studying Vedanta and you are trying to reach the level of consciousness awareness. In consciousness awareness, there is no experience of happiness. Experience comes when there are sense objects and sense organs. Through them, you experience Anandamaya Kosha. But Atma Ananda is nature, our own nature. Okay? This is one of the important points which comes in this particular mantra. Okay? Why Anandamaya is interior to Vijnanamaya? The two reasons. Vijnanamaya is the Karta Atma. Karta is dropped. Anandamaya is the Bhokta Atma. Therefore, Bhokta is always interior to the Karta. That's what it says. Okay. It is through the knowledge. These are some of the verses which are there in the Upanishad. It says, through the knowledge only we are able to perform. Therefore, that is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Whereas Anandamaya Kosha is the Bhokta Atma. It is not the Karta. Okay. These are some of the revision which I have done, which is there in the see, whenever we talk about anatma, anatma means body, mind, and the world. There are three factors which does not belong to the world. What are those three factors? Sat, Chit, and Anand. These three factors, they belong to Atma. That's what we studied, right? What is the nature of Brahman? Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Ananta. Satyam means existence principle. The whole world borrows existence from Atma. The whole world borrows the consciousness, awareness from Atma. And of course, we have seen Ananda, bliss is the nature of Atma. If that Atma had no bliss, in our life, we would never have joy in our life. That is how you analyze. What is the nature of Atma? Blissful. And what is that blissful nature? Without any upad. So can I drop all this body at any time? Yes, because ultimately see, this is one of the important lessons. The experience of joy in this world is anitya. Anitya means it is fleeting. Any joy you take, any joy, it's fleeting. Because the mind is fleeting. In the mind only the reflection of Ananda is coming. See, these are all experiences which you learn the Upanishad and you have to introspect in yourself. You have to do some mananam, some contemplation, and with the help of contemplation, this knowledge becomes more meaningful to you. So the body, the whole world borrows these three things from Atma. This is one of the important lessons which we must know when we are learning the spiritual science. kama, krodha. These are all the modifications of the mind, but they cannot survive. Our thought cannot survive without the chit, without the consciousness giving the life to them. We will never become aware of these thoughts. Any ananda is always reflection. Okay, I have discussed this before. So Bimba Anandam and Pratibimba Ananda, these are all some things which I have included in the notes. Okay. See, there is a verse which says, how to maintain Priya Moda Pramoda. I will take this up next week. I will start with this slide number 500. And this is very useful to us even in our day-to-day life. And this is one of the topics which we will discuss in the 8th section of Taittriya Upanishad. But I will tell you some meanings and we'll go through this slide next week. I will stop here. Just an announcement on the, I will be taking Mandukya Upanishad next year for another group, which is the Wednesday group. It will be on the 14th of January. Next year, I'll be starting Mandukya Upanishad Bhashyam, like this commentary of Shankaracharya. Those who are interested, who are attending the Sunday sessions, if you're Saturday sessions, you can join the Sunday sessions. I will give you the timing will be it will be 7 o'clock Singapore time, 7 to 8 o'clock. That is it will be the time Mandukya Upanishad Shankara Bhashyam. So next year I'll be continuing this Taittriya Bhashyam on Saturday. I will be stopping the session on Wednesdays. I'm changing Wednesday into Sunday so that many of you can also attend. Okay, so we'll start with this slide next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachade Purnasya Purnamathaya Purnameva Vasishyade. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Okay, there are some questions in the chat. Okay, there's a question on Gayatri Mantra. How long to chant this mantra? How to know that our buddhi mind is getting purified? Is there any special book on Gayatri Mantra? Okay, see, Gayatri Mantra. It's a very unique, it's one of the most important mantras which comes from the Veda, and is extremely important if you want to purify your intellect. This is said by the Veda itself, and there is no special book on Gayatri Mantra, but you will find plenty of Gayatri PDFs available if you search the internet, you will find plenty of them. Your question of how long to chant this mantra daily. Normally, it depends on you. You can start initially with 5 minutes. You chant maybe 10 times or 5 times, and then slowly increase it. Gayatri Mantra You can just chant it. You can learn how to chant. It's very easy. A lot of this is available in the internet today, in the YouTube, how to chant and so on. So you can chant 5 times, 10 times. What happens is you keep on chanting. First of all, you chant verbally. You chant loudly. And then slowly learn how to chant in your mind. They say that Gayatri, when you do it in your mind, is 100 times more effective than when you chant loudly. So when you chant in your mind, Gayatri mantra, what happens is, initially you might find it difficult because there are other thoughts which will disturb you. They are obstacles. But slowly, when you chant Gayatri mentally, that is the state in which your mind gets purified. How do you know your mind gets purified? The answer to that is, it is your own anubhava. When you keep chanting, suppose you start this exercise 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, and then you keep on chanting. You can chant it once a week, you can chant it daily, you can chant it morning and evening, depends on you. The best is at least once a month, if you can chant 108 times or 54 times once a month, you have reached a certain level of chanting. And that, if you can maintain it once a month, 54 times, chanting continuously, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can have a mala also and say that I have counted 54 times. Sometimes you don't have to count also. You just sit down and just chant for 10, 15 minutes till your mind is able to chant. Now, the purity is guaranteed. It is a guarantee. You see, you don't have to even wonder whether I will get pure or not. 100% this Veda says, Gayatri Japam, if you keep chanting Gayatri, your mind will definitely get pure. Pure means what? At any time, you will know what is the right action to do in life. Anytime. Any problem comes, you will be very clear. This is the action to be done. And your mind, you will find that the disturbances in your mind will keep reducing. The disturbance, suppose you were disturbed 30 times in a day, it will slowly come to 20, 25, 15. It will not go away. Disturbance will not go away because that is the nature of the mind. But definitely you will find the mind is able to focus. It is able to concentrate on anything you do in life. And it is something which will take you to the higher level. I have known many people who have just chanted Gayatri, even to find a guru. Just by chanting Gayatri, you will find a guru to teach you. It takes you to the spiritual path. There are so many benefits of this Gayatri mantra. I mean, I can go on and on and on, and it's amazing. It is a guarantee that it purifies the mind. Purification results in finding a guru to teach you Upanishads, and it will help you to understand the Upanishads. Many people who chant Gayatri, they will pick up the Upanishads. It becomes like a cakewalk for them. Suppose I teach you Karanam is Brahman, the Pancha Koshas are Karyam. You will understand in your intellect very easily. Why? Because your intellect is already pure. Okay. So so Jaya, have I answered all your questions? Yeah, Jaya, are you around?
Oh, I am able to understand. I am able to understand. Thank you, Shegarji.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. Next, I will see there's Sankara Bhashyam on Gayatri Mantra. Please check on the web. Yes. Is intellect the knower? Is intellect the knower of Brahman? Okay. This is a good question. Intellect is definitely the knower of Brahman, because any knowledge which you gather, whether it is spiritual knowledge, whether it is uh, Laukika knowledge, which is worldly knowledge, both of them, ultimately, the instrument you use is the intellect. And a purified intellect is the one which picks up the knowledge of Brahman. So suppose you say, I know Brahman, and I get complete satisfaction in myself. Aha, it's me, I am the consciousness. You see, this consciousness is common to all of us. And if you are able to, in your own mind, because Veda is only trying to reveal who I am, my real nature, my intrinsic nature. I have to remain in that nature is what is called as Jivan Mukta. So the study of Upanishad, you do with these two goals. What is the goal? I want to know who I am. So you understand the nature of pure consciousness, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. I am not the five koshas. I am not the mind. I am not the body. Keep listening to this. As you listen, what will happen to you? Your intellect, which was impure before, impure means what? It never had the knowledge of the truth. Number one. Number two, it is always engaged in the world outside. It cannot go inside. That is these are the indications of an impure mind. Slowly, slowly, your mind understands this nature of the truth behind the universe. The truth behind this body is the same. This truth is what I have to realize. And I have only one instrument, and that is my intellect. So it is through this intellect we ultimately say, Aham Brahmasmi. I gather knowledge, I claim that knowledge as my real nature. It is possible. Many, many people have done it in life, and you can also do it. Therefore, study and understand your own nature. Shanta, I'll come back to you. Let me just finish with the subject here. Krishna says intellect is the locus to be Brahman, knower of the Brahman is Brahman. Okay. Yeah. See, what happens is initially the intellect understands Paroksha Jnanam. Paroksha Jnanam about Brahman means what? There is consciousness. There is pure existence. There is something called as Brahman. Intellect gets this knowledge from where? Only from Upanishads. You cannot find this in any other place. The source is Upanishads, Veda. So get that Paroksha Jnanam first. You know Brahman as what? Paroksha. Your intellect knows it as what? There exists something, which is Atma. Today I don't know. Today I am thinking about the body and so on. But one day I will know. Keep that as the goal. Then what happens? That Paroksha Jnanam in the intellect becomes Aparoksha Jnanam. Aparoksha Jnanam means what? I am that consciousness. This will come to you only when you study the Mahavakyam. Mahavakyam study is extremely important in Vedanta. There is a process of teaching, of learning that pure consciousness is my nature. And so that intellect which has done the Mahavakyam becomes Brahman. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. That is what is said in Mundaka Upanishad. Okay? Okay, that's what Krishna has said. Due to the chanting of Gayatri, yes. See, there are many people. Uma is saying, I got this knowledge of Vedanta only because of Gayatri. See, that's what I said. That Gayatri can lead you to this knowledge. This is a clear proof of a seeker who says, I chanted Gayatri. I didn't know anything about Vedanta, but then I came to Vedanta just for chanting Gayatri. Okay? Okay, Shanta, you can, yeah, you have anything?
Yes, I think I completely agree with Uma Devi on this because I had no attraction to any Bhagavad Gita or anything, but I used to chant Gayatri Mantra 108 times over weekends when I used to get the time, and slowly, magically, I started learning Bhagavad Gita on my own, and then I got attracted to your website, and here I am. So I give the credit for chanting Gayatri Mantra, and I
Yes,
think that
it is true.
it is magic, I would say, because
Yes,
I have no idea how the puzzles, how I was getting. It's like getting the way from one point to another, another to another, because from mantra I got attracted to Bhagavad Gita by just getting a video of exam of Bhagavad Gita, where the girl was able to chant all 700 mantras from 1 to 700, 700 to 1, and they were having this exam. And I got this WhatsApp video. At that time I was on WhatsApp, and then I gave up WhatsApp because it was consuming a lot of my time. But that attracted me to learn Bhagavad Gita slokas, and from shloka I came to this. My friend told me about this website. So I think it is the path. Now, coming to my question, Shekharji, uh, it's something which I just like how you do Neti and to understand Brahman. I have got these questions so that I can completely get clarity in my mind. Okay, there's now we believe that we need to have food to maintain our body. That is satyam, we say, right? And at the time when you're eating your annamaya kosha, that annamaya kosha becomes, the satyam. Now, but we know that all this is mithya, the five koshas. So when we are in the dream, we have a dream body. We transact in that dream world. We go through the experiences of the dream world as real in that dream world. But that dream body does not need anna to survive. So now I'm in this waking world. When I come to the waking world, I know it's a dream, and so that body does not need anna to survive. Now I'm in my waking dream body. In my waking body, I'm told I have to eat, or for my annamaya kosha and all of, and maintain my body and blah blah. But as Brahman, we know, I mean, once I realize that I'm Brahman, I hope when the day, but then this body is also um, um, as good as a dream body. So why do I need this food and maintenance of the body, which I don't do in terms of for my dream body? So um, I just want that clarity because I think it'll help me to get that step back from like how I can step back from waking to dream, sorry, from dream to waking, from waking to Brahman.
good.
Uh,
Yeah, Shanta, let me answer this question. You are a perfect student of waiting for Mandukya Upanishad. I'm telling you, you are 100% absolutely ready for Mandukya Upanishad, because your questions are all answered there. I'll give you a simple answer to answer you briefly, but you'll get a lot of knowledge in Mandukya when we do the Mandukya from the 14th of January onwards. You will definitely be greatly benefited by it, because your questions are all there. It's all intricately, very beautifully answered there. See, one thing we should understand is whenever we are talking of the body and this waking world, one fundamental thing you should never forget is this waking world and the dream world are controlled by the law of karma.
Mm.
There is a law which controls these two experiences. And this will carry on with or without your knowledge of Brahman. So your body will definitely eat. But even if you say, I am, why, these questions about the dream and the waking, if they are the same, but your knowledge of this waking and dream is not today 100%. You still lack a lot of knowledge to say that this waking is a dream.
Yeah.
From you still have to study Upanishad correctly to come to this understanding of why, for a waking body, if it's a dream body, why should I give food? The reason is you cannot avoid giving it food, because it is a law of karma. Karma will bring food on the table to you, whether you like it or not. It will bring you. The law of karma says your body will be maintained till the last action in your body has to be performed. Till you have performed the last action, the law of the universe will keep your body alive, and you will do your body. See, with knowledge, what really happens is you will let the body and mind act in the world without any problems. That is the change.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that is true. But what I'm trying to understand is, I know I have not yet reached the point to claim myself as Brahman. So there is a lot of gap in knowledge which I need to, fill, so that I can completely that's why I said it's all superficial knowledge I've got right now, where I know this is mithya, but it has not sunk in, and I'm not able to claim that Atma as yet. So it's all superficial at the moment. It's all like
No,
bookish
it is not
knowledge.
superficial.
But it's bookish knowledge.
No, at the same time, what I'm saying is it is limited knowledge. You have limited
Yeah.
knowledge of these two states,
Yeah.
of what is waking
Okay.
and what is dream.
Okay.
Dream is vasana maya. It is mental vasanas, whereas waking is bhautikam. Bhautikam means it is made up of 5 elements. There is a huge difference between a mental vasana projection world and a bhautika world, which is made up of 5 elements.
Okay. Now, I do have a sub question on this, but before
Yeah.
I complete that, I'll complete the previous one. Is when you have these, say, rishis who become Jivan Muktas, and I think, you have got two options for them. Is either they come back, they start teaching people and taking them on the journey of this Vedanta and moksha, and others just go to the cave and live there in the cave till their death comes, or whatever you call it. Now, during that time, when they are in that samadhi, I don't think they are eating or drinking as such. Is that true? I don't know. So, how does that body then survive without food and water?
Yeah, see, these people, who go to the cave and who meditate for years together, they are yogis. They are yogis who have learned to control their body with the help of pranayama. So the prana keeps their body alive without food. It is possible. People can live purely with the help of prana if you're a yogi. You see, you and I cannot do that. We need 3 times food, you know. So yogis, they have, that is why they are called as siddhas.
Okay.
So there are, okay, in Vichara Sagara, in the 7th chapter, it clearly talks about these two categories which you have mentioned. Some people will come and teach, like Shankaracharya will come and write books, will write shlokas on all the devatas, even though he knows that it is all mithya and he knows that it is what is satya. But then when he writes shlokas on the devatas, on the Gayatri, on Upanishad, he knows he is in the waking state in this particular realm of experience. Okay, there in chapter 7 of Vichara Sagara, there is an analysis, and what it says in the end is, it says, Prarabdha will decide whether a person will go to the cave or whether a person will teach. The Prarabdha karma of that body will decide. It is not the jnani. Jnani has already known that the body is mithya. But the law of karma will decide whether he will construct hospitals, whether he will construct schools, whether he will construct ashramas. It is the prarabdha karma. There are so many jnanis, millions, thousands of jnanis will be there in India today. Not everybody will come to teach. Not everybody will sit in a cave. Not everybody will construct schools and colleges. You'll find many different types of Jivan
Based on the prarabdha karma. Okay, now
it is only prarabdha karma. You see, whenever you try to analyze our waking state, what it is, how it is, just have only one thing at the back of your mind, prarabdha karma. Whatever you see in the waking state, whatever, whether it is birth of a baby, whether it is a death of someone, prarabdha karma. It has to happen today. I am experiencing it, finished. But is it nityam? No, it will change. Tomorrow it will be something different. Our whole waking state is anityam, exactly like the dream.
Okay.
Dream is also anityam, waking is also anityam.
Anityam. Yeah.
And the dream is drishyam, experience, and waking is also experienced. Keep these two as the main reasons. Because of these two main reasons, we say both waking and dream is mithya. Waking is Ishvara Srishti. Dream is Jiva Srishti. In Ishvara Srishti, we are all small characters, trying to understand our nature. But ultimately, it is what? Ishvara Srishti. The entire waking is Ishvara Srishti. I have no control on this. It is the Lord's wish who makes me come to this study today. Okay?
Jiva Srishti.
Jiva Srishti is our thoughts in the mind, and Jiva Srishti, according to Mandukya, is the Nidra Shakti. The projection of the dream is Jiva Srishti. The projection of the waking state is Ishvara Srishti. Projection of the dream is Jiva Srishti. Because it is the mind of an individual which is throwing up the dream, and it is a subjective experience. Whereas waking is an objective experience common to all of us. When you are waking, Sumana is in the US, she is also in the wakeful state, and that world of America before her, the world of London, UK before you, the world of Singapore before me, world is common. It is Ishvara Srishti. In that Ishvara Srishti, there is law of karma. In that law of karma, there is karta, bhokta,
Bhukta.
there is joy and sorrow.
Okay. Now, my last part of the question now, which is right, because you mentioned about these two, prarabdha karma, which you have got in the dream state and the waking state, right? Now, since the dream state is a jivana, karta or
Yeah, Jiva
srishti,
Srishti.
jiva srishti.
Yeah.
So, in this jiva srishti, the prarabdha karma, how meaning how do we understand then? Is it the prarabdha karma when we see a dream, for example, right? Is that prarabdha karma which I had to do in my mind, or how does that differentiate? Because it's a prarabdha karma of the mind, and this is the prarabdha karma of the indriyas. I don't know. How do you
Yeah,
differentiate
this
those two
is, see,
prarabdha
this,
karmas, and what is the level of difference between them?
yeah, the level of difference between them is number one, dream is is a a vague memory in your mind. You will never have the details of the dream. Complete details you will not have. Whereas waking is completely clear to you. It is pratyaksham, it is clear, whereas dream is vague. It is mano, it is mind oriented, it is a vasana generated world. Now, law of karma says there are some prarabdhas which you can clear up in your dream state. There are some prarabdhas for which you need a physical world. World in which you need your indriyas are experiencing the world outside. Always remember the objective world is indriya pratyaksha. And through indriya pratyaksham, you have certain prarabdhas which are clear. Through the dream, which is sakshi pratyaksham. Sakshi pratyaksham means it is seen by the sakshi, the dreams are seen, and it is, and there are certain prarabdhas which are fulfilled in the dream state.
Dream state.
They are different. They are different, but ultimately it is the law of karma.
But then, when you say, for example, if you dream that you are given a responsibility in that dream, does it mean that my prarabdha karma of all that what comes with that responsibility is burnt off? Or is it expected that it is still not burnt off and I have to do it in my waking state?
No, no. You see, it's like this. There are punyams and papams which are fructified in the dream state. Now, the what you will dream depends on so many factors. So it depends on what you have done in this life. It depends on what you have thought about in this life, and so on. So dream ends with the dream world. That's it. There is no
Okay.
there is no
Follow
link
on prarabdha
between,
karma.
no, there is no link, there is no corridor to link your dream with your waking. No corridor. So whatever you have dreamt, it doesn't mean that you have to bring it back to the waking world and start analyzing if they have got, and so on. So drop the dream and the dreamer, the dream world is only true for the observer, which is the dreamer. Waking world is true for the waker. Okay, so
But
to
I
answer
don't
your
agree to
question,
this. No, I don't agree to this, because there are a lot of people who dream something, and then when they say go to that place, and then they have these, we have seen people who take rebirth, and they have come, and they remember their previous birth, and they
oh, those
remember
are
exactly all of those.
those are, no, I agree. It is possible that those are special cases.
Because the reason why I'm saying is because when you dream of certain things which are not common dreams, or something, some responsibilities are sort of told to you in the dream, and then you wake up and you know it's not real, right? And then you find somebody telling you that, oh, this is what it should be. So how do you then realize it? Because it feels that in your living waking world, you do feel that there is that responsibility you have not completed, and it almost leaves that impression on you. Because the reason I'm saying is because I have been getting a dream where I have no idea what it means, and but then it is haunting me. It's like I have been in a jungle with some guru, and then I walk to a temple, and the temple, I walk up to the garbhaguri of the temple, and the person gives me the keys, and he tells me, now it's your duty. And I have no idea, and this dream haunts me all the time, and I have no idea where even that jungle is and where that thing is.
Yeah.
And how do you then, uh, but it is haunting me that I've got some responsibility, and I'm not able to drop that as a dream karma, and I don't feel it's completed. So I don't know, if I'm trying to attain moksha, I know it will be burnt off, hopefully.
No, no. You see, it's like this. See, when the right time comes,
Mhm.
that dream will fructify in the waking state. But you have to wait for the time. You cannot push it.
But it is
Forget
haunting.
about
It goes on haunting me.
no. See, for getting it being haunted
It
by the
reminds
dream.
me, yeah, it reminds me every day when I pray,
Yeah.
and that is what is making me uncomfortable about. And I've all so many dreams I get, but I mean, I don't even remember. I think
Yeah, correct. There
but
is one dream
certain
which is bothering you,
yeah.
and see, there are steps which are there for this also, where I'm sure you must have contacted certain people, and you know, if this is a dream and you want to get out of it, there are some pariharas. There are some pariharas which are available, which if you go to some of the I'm not an expert in this, but I can
Mm.
discuss separately with you on this.
Okay, I really need a solution for this, because it is because when I sit and pray or sit and meditate, this sort
Yeah.
of thing
No,
flashes me,
that
and
is
I don't
good.
even think about it.
Yeah.
I was on my business trip this week. I was not even thinking about it, but
Yeah.
the minute I started praying, it's like you got something to do, and I was like, oh God, what is that I'm supposed to do?
No, you see, the best thing is let the Lord tell you what you have to do. Let the
Just
Lord come
leave it,
and tell
yeah,
you,
and
just
not
leave it.
worry.
Don't worry
Okay,
about it. It is the Lord who is in charge of that dream. It is the Lord. If He wants you to do something, He will come and tell you.
okay, so
Wait
I'll
for
just leave
it.
it for now.
Just leave it. For the time being, you just leave it. You don't need to have even call me because I don't have a full answer to your question.
Okay, that's fine, no
Okay.
problem. Thank you.
So best is to say, let the Lord come and tell me what I have to do. If I have to do something, let the Lord come and tell me. Because I have no control over the dream. I have no control over what I should do, what I should not do. These are uncontrollable factors in our life.
So
For
it's
the
not going to
best
be a
answer,
prarabdha karma
yeah,
which is
the
burnt
best,
off.
yes, the best answer to this is leave it to God.
Okay.
Leave it to that higher authority who's in charge of both the waking and the dream states.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Shekhar.
Yeah, Jacqueline. Okay.
Okay,
Kanan,
no, go first, go first, go first.
yeah, Kanan, you have a question here, or you want to say something about Shanta's thing?
Well, more of a question, so what I was thinking as you two were talking, well, if we are studying Taittriya Upanishad, and just following that Taittriya Upanishad's guidance is Manomaya Kosha is where all this is happening. And as you start witnessing the Manomaya Kosha, isn't that automatically supposed to tell us it's not me anyway? Why should I be bothering with my dream? I mean, I have similar kind of questions, but instead of going with examples, which we already talked about, but the idea here is what I'm trying to resolve itself is, well, everything is happening in the mind, and I'm not the mind anyway. So why bother? Can we just leave it like that, or we need to really,
So, you see,
to Shanta's point, just work on
yeah.
it?
Yeah, what you're saying is true to a certain extent, but there are certain prarabdha karmas which are very, very troublesome. With this simple explanation of mind and with our knowledge of Vedanta, we will not be able to clear up that. There are very strong prarabdha karmas which it will come. We cannot avoid it. So as we keep studying, our study will definitely help in reducing the impact of these experiences which we have in life. It will reduce. Definitely, it will reduce. It has its benefit, but one should be aware that our waking state and our dream state, we are not 100% in control. There is some higher power which is called as Maya Shakti, which is called as Ishvara. And for those where I have no control, like what Shanta is facing, I have known hundreds of cases like her, where they just don't know what to do. And in those cases, the best is to leave it to the higher power, surrender to that higher, these are practical steps. The knowledge aspect, keep on doing it. Yes, you're right. If see, the thing is that for some people, what you are saying will work. It is all mind, but it will work for those prarabdha karmas which are not so strong. So what you're saying is right, but there are certain cases where it is something which is which knowledge will help. Definitely, it will help, and maybe there are certain things which will come in the course of time, which will change the situation. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
Karan, I
think
agree
this
with
is
you.
now probably more confusing to me, because either it's easy to take the way of, okay, it's a mind, leave it, or it is you need to act on it. Now, how do I decide when to act and when to leave is probably more.
You don't act, you don't decide. Let the karma decide. When the karma has to happen, it will happen.
I see. Copy. Okay,
You don't decide. You say that I in this particular case, I am not the decision maker.
I agree to this, because there are so many things which I could, after learning Vedanta and after learning Bhagavad Gita, I could leave and forget about it.
Yes.
But this particular dream, even if I forget, or if the people whom I've shared with will remind me and tell me, have you forgotten? You had this dream. So therefore, something is not letting me off of the hook. The knowledge that it is a mana thing. So I agree with Shekharji that some things we can forget about it and leave it as a mana, and projection of a mana, and the prarabdha karma, I think, is finishes. But certain things, I believe we just have to wait for time, as Shekharji said. And I think, given the amount of pressure I feel about this dream, it just makes me feel that I have got to something. Probably the time will tell, and time
Yeah,
will
let
reveal.
let the Lord. One thing is there. We have to believe in some higher authority. Let that Lord decide whenever I have to do it as per my dream. If it has to come, the dream will convert into a situation outside in my waking. For example, if some temple has to be built by Shanta in some point of time, she will build a temple. She will contribute. There is a possibility. If some door has to be opened, there will be situations around which will bring that karma action. Okay. Thank you, Kanan. Raghu, can you go ahead?
Yeah, yes. Just regarding Shanta's madam, my opinion is somewhat different, sir. But there is something called dream analysis. Whenever I dream, it is from my conscious state only that figures out. It is, as you told, it is just built by me. So there is some reference of something which my conscious mind has seen that day, which results in dream. So I used to do the dream analysis and used to correlate as to what I have done in that day, which has resulted in the dream. So I was able to do almost many times why that dream has come. I was able to do, but as you are telling, the prarabdha karma, whatever is there, that I am not able to fully understand that state. But most of the things I was able to. Maybe it is my individual intellectual mindset
That's
and
correct.
my
It
dream
is
state, which is
correct.
and most of the time I used to correlate because usually when I wake up in the morning, why I have dreamed this, why this has come, and I used to correlate with some of the activities in that day, which I have told, maybe not that very day, maybe 2, 3 days before. So that was very much working for me. Regarding Madam's case, I'm feeling it. She's more stressing onto the same point. So again and again, the dream is getting triggered, and I have no solution, as you are telling. It has to be left to the Lord to find a solution.
That's correct. Yeah, yeah. So Raghu, you're basically some simple dreams, some simple things. It can be solved at the waking. You can have some link and also on. But there is a set of prarabdha karma which goes away only at a particular time when actions are fulfilled at certain times. I mean, there's law of karma is something which is not visible. It is something which is it is in it is not visible to us. It is apaurushaya vishaya. It is something which exists. We experience it, and that is why we say all our waking state is also experience. It is only an experience. So I understand from where you are coming in from. Thank you, Raghu. Thank you.
One more thing, maybe what you are telling, the Parigaram state, that may be more helpful for her because she's it's something specific to that, as you are telling, if you are giving a
Correct.
solution.
Yeah, that's why. But then that's a very long circle of events. It can happen. You can go in circles there, and there's nobody who can tell you that this is a specific thing for this particular problem.
She has the answer.
That is a problem. You see,
One
when
more
you
thing, sir, I'm very much thankful to you for shifting Wednesday to Sunday. I was usually missing the Wednesday's time.
no
So
problem. It's
Yes,
okay.
I'm also pleased that you have changed, Shekuji, because I will be able to attend then.
I may be able to attend.
Yeah,
Thank
good.
you.
Very good. Yeah. So I found that certain people called me also. Some people wrote to me also and said that, please, can you change it to Sunday when it's a holiday? More people can attend. Well, I'm going to try it out. 14th of January, Mandukya Upanishad. It's a beautiful Upanishad. It's going to blow up your mind. Wait for it. It is not. It is a challenging Upanishad. It is not easy to understand. It is not easy to teach also. But let's see. Okay, Bharat from London has agreed to help me out with the notes. So he's doing some corrections on the notes and so on. Anybody else? This Jacqueline, you had a question?
Yeah, no, what I want to say is I just learned, okay, just like every time I learn from you that, silent, Om, when you chant Om, there's a gap and you come again, and that is the what do you call that? That is our self, okay, which normally we don't know. But this is what I learned on a statement that I read somewhere for Shanta. I don't know whether it works or not, but likely that it may, okay? It's just like Om, and then you be silent, and then you Om again. I'm not talking about this. What the statement that I learned was, let's say you have a lot of what you described just now, and you say, what action can I take? And silent. And often, I mean, I just learned. I think it may come to your answer, like, you know, it's just like the Ishvara is telling you what action are you going to take. And indirectly, like what Mr. Shekhar said, it can take long, but perhaps it will be coming soon enough, because what action can I take? And then you're silent, and that is the cell. And the cell is going out to the universe and look for the answer for you, and maybe it will. And this is just human being. We as a human being, layman. But the what action can I take? It's just like you chant Gayatri, right? And you say the Gayatri brought you here, right? I mean, I
Yes.
came to listen to Mr. Shekhar. I don't know why also. And I have been listening to him for 3-4 years. Not that I know
Yes.
everything. Not that I know everything. I just pick up here and there, but it works, you know. So that
Yes.
is totally the way that it happened. I just learned this statement not long ago. And I also learned, you know, are you in the Divine Code? I think the book Silence is very good. I mean, no, everything is good, but it's just whether you are affinate, the affinitive is you or not. Just like we come to listen to this. If it works for you, that is where it happened to you. Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah,
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 Jacqueline,
I think they're very
she's
beautifully
not in the
told. Yes.
yeah, she's not
I'm
in the
not.
WhatsApp group, so she's not in the Divine group. What is the book's name you said?
the silence that who Stephen pick it put it inside the group. I think he has a lot of books, but this particular one, because I always heard about silence, you know, I didn't really understand. But this is Robert Adam who has written it, but not but is the disciple of Maharishi, no, Nikrat or Maharishi, you know. So
Okay,
he's
okay.
a Western guy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, I also learned. It say I am, you know, the cell is no problem. The free itself, like Mr. Shekhar always tell us. But because we are human beings, we also say there's a problem, you know. Yeah. I mean, I'm just sharing because I've
Yeah.
just learned that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
No,
you, Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, I think you put it very beautifully, because just like chanting Gayatri Mantra, I've come here, and I'm sure from here I will get my answer in the future after I learn some more things. Who knows?
In fact, Mr. Shekhar, somebody was asking about Gayatri, right? So
Yeah.
Yes.
I learned more about Gayatri today, you know. That was the first mantra that I learned in the area of Hinduism. Somebody, that was not the Om, okay, it's Gayatri, but somehow it was beautifully described by you in more in depth that I understand, that I know more about it. Yeah.
Good. Thank you,
Okay.
Jacqueline.
Appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yeah, if there are no other questions, we'll stop here, and then we'll continue next week. Taittriya Upanishad will continue next week. Are you all still interested in the Bhashyams, in the same commentary? Are you still want to do this?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So we'll continue the Bhashyam. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Namaste.
Namaste.